Remember my home plants? There are definitely lots of types of plants, but today we're gonna figure out what categories do we have. We all know that plants usually make seeds, but some trees actually don't make seeds while some do. Same for other plants that are smaller. So this is the main division of categories between plants. Some are seedless plants while some are seed plants. And how do we know when one is a seed plant and another is a seedless plant? Usually we can figure that out because of the flower. If it has a flower like this, then it will probably have seeds. But what about plants that don't have flowers? Then you need to look for something else. Remember those brown cones that you can find on the ground in Tapalpa or in Mazamitla or in any place that has a lot of forests? Yeah, those that you sometimes use for Christmas decorations. Those are called cones, and cones are actually a type of seed. And we also have different types of seeds. Some seeds are monocot seeds while some are dicot seeds. What does this mean? Monocot seeds will be the ones that generate one leaf inside of the seed when it sprouts. Dicot seeds will be the ones that generate two little leaves when the seed sprouts. I did some of my own planting at the beginning of quarantine, and I got a lot of these results. So I probably had a lot of dicot seeds. Alright, very well, that's about seeds, but what about plants that don't have seeds? These plants produce something else. These plants produce spores. Spores are not the same as a seed. It turns out that seeds have lots of cells, while spores only have one cell. And also, the location of spores is different. Plants that don't have flowers or cones are going to be having their spores underneath the leaf. And the wind is going to be the main transporter of these because the wind blows, the plant will shake, and then the spores will be released and taken to another place to be deposited and hopefully grow. However, there are still differences between the plants that don't have seeds. We have vascular plants and non-vascular plants. What does that mean? If you look at your arm, well, without a sleeve, you will notice that it has some veins, and that's because we have a system that sort of irrigates our whole body. Plants also have that. Remember that we have xylem and phloem, and that's usually inside the stem, and the stem is the one that's making the plant be able to stand up. So that's an easy way to identify a vascular plant and differentiate it from a non-vascular plant. A vascular plant will be one that is already able to stand up, while a non-vascular plant is actually one that doesn't even have a height, or at least not one that is considerable. And you can think of moss as an example of this. You know how moss covers rocks and the floor and soil, but it never gets up to a height, right? And this is because it is not a vascular plant. It is a non-vascular plant. So any kind of plant that looks like that is going to be a non-vascular plant. And just as a fun fact, even though we might think of non-vascular plants as not as interesting, they are actually the ones that will prosper more in a very rough environment. You could basically thank non-vascular plants for the recovery of the planet after the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs hit the Earth. Everything died, but because of spores being able to be carried by the wind and then deposited and then be growing again, then these allowed for more and more plants to be able to reproduce.